Alright, well, it's time to do the AEW Dynamite from Winnipeg review. So I was at this show. I was also at Collision. So yeah, so I'll go over everything that happened. I think I'm frozen here. Okay. Oh, I swear every time this computer updates it slows it down. Alright, let's get into this Dynamite review. From the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg. So, shows are always better live, so I might be a little bit biased, but yeah. So, Tony Schiavone was in the ring hosting the contract signing for the MJF Kenny Omega match. But some pyro interrupted him, and it led to the Judas song playing, and Chris Jericho made his return after a year from AEW. And the fans were going crazy. It didn't sound like in my video that, like in my video it sounded like it was a dead crowd, but it was a loud crowd. They were singing to his Judas song, and they even showed Jericho's dad, Tan Irving, singing at ringside. And there was lots of speculation about whether Jericho's future in the last few months, but it turns out he did not go to WWE. He is back with AEW, and I think he might have signed a new contract with AEW. Chris Jericho walked around the ring, saluted the crowd as they sang the entire Judas song. Jericho looks like he's in great shape at 55, and his body is obviously rested after not wrestling for the last year. The announcers didn't speak. While Jericho walked around, the fans chanted, "Welcome back to Jericho." And in Winnipeg, AEW, I'm home, as the fans cheered. And that was it. And then he just left. I was expecting a little more from Jericho instead of that, but it was good regardless. It was a surprise to see him live in Winnipeg. I mean, I had a hunch that maybe he would show up, and sure enough, he did. Yeah, so then they went backstage where Will Ospreay was attacking Jon Moxley with the punches. Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shafir showed up to help Moxley while security pulled Ospreay off Mox. And then the AEW champion MJF made his entrance for the contract signing, and he is over in Winnipeg. The fans love him. There was a table in the ring along with chairs and a contract on the table. Kenny Omega got a big ovation in his hometown of Winnipeg. So, yeah. When Omega sat down, MJF signed first, and Omega signed right after him. Omega told MJF to shut his mouth before he could say anything. I do want to say MJF's promos are really good. Then when you watch them live in person, they're even better. So Omega said that MJF probably rehearsed what he wanted to say while mocking MJF for having beautiful new hair plugs. Omega said it's not going to work with MJF's way this time. Omega said that the people must be here to cheer for the champ. Omega said he knows the fans are not here for MJF. They are here to watch the best wrestle. Omega said that's what he's interested in this belt. Omega said he was near death, a real problem, like this live. The fans stood behind him. Omega said that if he's the aesthetics of MJF, then maybe he's the guy who is never close to that belt ever again. And Omega is the one who will do it. So MJF laughed at Omega, being at 100%, mocked Omega for his body breaking, while mocking Canadians for drinking bags of milk. MJF said, much like your injury-prone boyfriend Kota Ibushi, Omega is a brush of wind away from retirement. MJF said he wants to talk about the thing that Omega doesn't want to talk about. MJF said that maybe you want to know why Omega is so desperate to be the world champion. He claims that the Triple B is the most sought-out after belt in pro wrestling. MJF wondered if Omega will tell him, or should MJF? MJF said that Omega had a doctor's visit, and MJF said that the doctor took some scans of Omega's stomach, and MJF claimed that Omega's diverticulitis could explode at any minute. MJF claimed that Omega's life is on a fast winding clock. MJF said that the news gets worse. MJF said that when the devil is through with Omega, a dynasty, the fans will be embarrassed and ashamed of Omega. And then Omega flipped the table. MJF dared Omega to hit him, but Speedball Mike Bailey showed up, and then MJF said something funny like, what are you going to do, Karate Kid? Thinking Omega because and Bailey said you should be thinking Omega because there's no AEW. Without AEW, there is no MJF. Bailey said that respect is earned and Omega is a living legend. Bailey said that MJF thinks that he's on Omega's level, but MJF is only a legend in his own mind. So and then the next match was Kenny Omega, Brody King, Jungle Jack Perry versus the Demand. This was a 17-minute match with Kenny Omega, Brody King, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry getting the win, and there was no ice chance for Brody King. So it was a long tag team match, but like I said, everything's better live. But yeah, I mean, it was just to get the faces over and Kenny Omega over. Willow Nightingale, the TBS champion, was backstage saying she wanted to defend her title on Collision on Thursday. And Willow says she wants to wrestle the best, so let's see who answers the challenge. And that will be on Collision, so I'll get to that in the next video. And really good segment there. I got like a lot of top 5 already. So Adam Copeland and Christian were walking backstage when Renee Paquette asked what the plan was. Cope said that they'll take out anybody who gets in their way. And Cage nearly hit Renee with a chair, but Cope stopped him before Renee is not in the way. Because because Renee is not in the way. And then Adam Copeland. And then Adam Copeland and Christian were in the locker room looking for FTR, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero over there to say that FTR was there. But they will be on Collision tomorrow, which means later on today. Cope said okay, they'll be at Collision. It said it looks like they're on their way as they beat up Trent and Rocky with chairs. So now the next match, Will Ospreay versus Pac. Now Will Ospreay is a star. He was so over with the crowd, and he cut a fantastic promo afterwards. And Will Ospreay got the match win after 17 minutes. An excellent match between two of the best in AEW and two of Britain's best. See, AEW has a lot of good matches. I would like to see more story involved in some of the feuds instead of just like match after match after match. And in WWE is kind of like the opposite, where it's more promos and nonsense. But yeah. After the match, Pac attacked Will with punches. Will was able to fight back and hit a blade elbow smash. The Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia attacked Will with punches. Claudio went into the ring with a steel chair, and Claudio put the chair on Will's head and neck. John Moxley and Marina Shafir went in the ring too. But he did do it for So next was the Triangle of Madness. Thekla, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Mina Shakira, and Brawling Birds. So, this is the first time I saw Thekla live in person, and yeah, it was really good. It was nice seeing this match in person, and Sky Blue, last time she was in Winnipeg, she had that awesome match on Rampage, I think it was, in Winnipeg, that street fight, where she got all bloodied and hardcore. It was awesome. This match wasn't the greatest match though, but I just it felt like they were just getting going, and then the match just kind of ended. Hayter hit a backbreaker on Hart, and Haterade Lariat on Hart for the pinfall win. I don't have a time here how long it was. It was an average tag team match. The ending felt flat. I don't know. I think Thekla is definitely better as a singles singles competitor than a tag team. And Darby Allin, he did a really good promo too. He was by the entrance Allin area. Allin talked about how he was actually willing to die for the title. He mentioned that Don Callis family, which MJF has paid off to destroy Allin in the past. Allin said that he wants Kenny Omega or anybody to beat MJF and end his bull crap. And then Don Callis walked out with members of the Don Callis family. Callis said that if Allin could beat a member of the Don Callis family at Dynasty, then MJF would grant Allin an AEW World Title match. Callis said it would be Andrade who would face Allin at Dynasty. And then Callis sent Lance Archer after Allen. Poor Lance Archer. You know, he should have been the next big thing in AEW, but now he's just kind of like a background character to Callis' group. Oh, maybe that was on Collision. With Will Ospreay did cut a promo, I do remember that. And then there was also some commercial breaks where Don Callis came to the crowd and like was berating his own home country, his hometown. That was funny. So next, the main event was Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus B-Ball Mike Bailey, and it was an eliminator match, and it was an awesome match. As you can expect, it was a very entertaining match. It went match 16 minutes. MJF came out into the ring, had the U.S. flag shining, and then MJF shouted "God bless America," and then hit this heat sinker by the ropes and pinned Bailey for the win. And yeah, so one of the good moments is Chris Jericho, MJF, B-Ball Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey can have good matches one-on-one, but tag teams, not so much. The bad would be the tag team match, the women's match, unfortunately. And yeah, there wasn't really anything too ugly, so. But that was Dynamite from Winnipeg. Yeah, which is an amazing show to watch live. Collision, not so much, just because it felt long after sitting there for like 4 hours. Near the end, I was like so tired, but yeah, so that is your AEW Dynamite review from Winnipeg. And the shows always feel better when they're live. So I'll be doing a Collision review. So stick around for that, and I will see you in the next video.